Hey guys, Mac here from Flowly. So this is going to be all about campaigns. So sending emails out manually, so not in flows and not in automations or journeys or whatever you want to call them. This is emails that you create to send to a specific part of your audience for a specific reason. So we're going to go through the who, the what, and the how in this training. So I'm going to just explain how to break down who you need to target, which is the first stage in understanding how many emails you're going to send, when you're going to send them, and what you're going to send. Then I'm going to show you some examples of some emails and why I think they're awesome, especially now, the audience that they go to, and the logic behind that. And then I'm just going to kind of break down like how to then plan it all. So how to split it down. And then some research strategies that we throw into the mix, which I think is really helpful. Now, bearing in mind, this is purely for agencies or email marketers that kind of want to go from that 0 to 15K mark, and then beyond, right? Like this is a basic level understanding. Okay, so we could go very, very deep on certain things. Probably reserve that for a later course. But this is purely to get you thinking. So if you kind of sit and think, I don't really know how to do campaigns and I'm not entirely sure, then this video is for you. So the who. The way to think about it is thinking about it on a monthly level, right? So at the time of recording, we're in August. Beginning of September, we will start to plan for October, for the next month for our clients. And we start to look at who we're going to target, what we're going to say, and how we're going to send that out, okay? So you don't want to be thinking on a week-by-week level because you don't give yourself enough time to plan. And it's good to have a kind of quarterly strategy, an overall marketing calendar as an overall for everything like ads, SEO, website, CRO, etc. But purely from an email standpoint, thinking about it on a monthly level, like a month ahead, is the perfect way to approach this. Okay, because it gives you time then to look at this area here. So who in your audience should be messaging. So the way we look at this is like, and every brand is different, but let's look at different things. So do we want to be sending consistent messaging to non-buyers that may be churning? Yes. Do we want to be sending consistent messaging to non-buyers that are engaged? Absolutely, yes. Do we want to be sending emails to one-time buyers, repeat buyers, VIP, those who have abandoned checkout in the last, maybe 120 days, for example, and not purchased? Those who have interest in a specific product launch or a specific section, of your website, for example, these are all things to consider. So the way I would approach this is I would be looking, at the very least, I'd be looking at our non-buyer audience. I'd be looking at our one-time buyers, so those who have only ever purchased once, and I'd be looking at repeat buyers, maybe VIPs, as a minimum. Yep. And then I'd be thinking about other things. So, one good thing for abandoned checkouts is, have they abandoned the checkout once in the last 90 days and not made that purchase? They're a good audience to put, big hefty offers in front of because they've got as far as the checkout. So they were going to buy, something put them off. Maybe delivery is too expensive, or maybe they got distracted. There's a million different reasons, right? But it's a very good idea to get in front of them, with, you have your flows, which we get, but like you can't create, well, you could, but I wouldn't advise creating like a 6-month long flow. It just doesn't make sense. And you can't keep on top of it with specific offers that may make sense to you as a brand. So that's why it's good to have them as campaigns as well. In areas like product launches, it's really good to, if you have people that sign up to your email newsletter and they say, I'm interested in female clothing, then you know that they're interested in female clothing, and you may have a new launch within your female range as a fashion brand, for example. Then you can, send campaigns to people that are interested in that kind of thing. And that could be anything in, different types of coffees, different types of baked goods, different kinds of technology. It could be like Apple Watch users or Garmin users, for example. And this is important to collecting that zero-party data at the point of sign up and at various other points in the journey, because you can send specific things. So if you had like a new launch of female clothes and you have a massive segment of people that, identify as female and are interested in female products, then you've got a red hot audience to sell straight to. So you can do that, right? So you've got to think on a month by month basis, like, okay, in September, what do we want to achieve? Well, we've got this new launch and we want to target our consistent segments of the audience. So we want to consistently target our non-buyers because we want to convert them. We want to be getting our one-time buyers and turn them into repeat buyers so we can increase customer lifetime value. And then we want to turn repeat buyers into VIPs, with special offers, with personalized messaging, with feedback through questionnaires, really, really like empower them to become brand ambassadors. Like that's the way that you can do that, right? And create a lot more revenue opportunities that way. So that's the who. Yeah, think on a monthly level and then split down your audience. Once you split it down, you kind of know like, okay, I need to send 3 emails a month to non-buyers, 2 to our one-time buyers, 2 to our repeat buyers, 1 to our abandoned checkouts, and we've got 4 product launches. And then you can kind of break that down, and then like, okay, I've got 15 emails I need to send. So that's the who. I'm going to jump through a few examples and just kind of explain, again, why I think they're awesome and why they worked for our clients. So I'm going to go through, I think, about 6. So this was a non-buyer campaign, and it was also, so we targeted non-buyers, but also those who haven't bought for a period of time to re-engage them and kind of retell the story. And this is like a bit of a story-based email, so biting into the joy of these hard candies that this brand provides, telling a bit of a story, commitment to quality, famous peach buds, so a bit of social proof, different variations, thanks for being part of the family. Find your new favorite, explore our flavors, and this did really, really well. Great opens and click rates, lots of revenue. It was the highest performing revenue email for this month, even, targeting a relatively unproven segment. So you kind of look at this and say, well, for this kind of email, we're targeting non-buyers. They may want more information. They may need pushing over the line. They may just need to be put front of mind for you as a brand, right? So you can create something like this. Obviously, I'm not going to go into like the whole layouts of emails, but ultimately, nice image, nice header, call to action, all above the fold. A little bit of copy. This is more copy than we would typically send, but like we want to convince, and influence people who haven't bought to buy. And then obviously a call to action at the end and some nice social stuff and bits and pieces. So that's like a non-buyer and infrequent buyer kind of email. Second one, so this is like an event-based email that we did, and we did this a little bit differently to kind of test out having everything at the top, and it worked really, really well. So obviously 4th of July, Independence Day in the States, did a bit of an offer, so 21% off subscriptions or 12% off a one-time order. Coffees from a specific section, which is the Americas, which makes sense for Independence Day, hit really hard with the audience. Use code, shop now, when it's valid to, nice image, really done, and then, a couple of bits at the bottom. And we made this all like one thing, which we don't normally do. We kind of have a bit of a structure and a framework, but this worked really, really well. It's almost like an advert in an email, and it worked perfectly. It made, again, the most revenue in that sort of 30-day period for this brand. So really, really good idea. Get behind specific events. I'm going to go through a few places where you can look at specific events that may be relevant, but you absolutely want to be jumping on as an e-commerce brand specific events like these. Okay, and then same brand again, but we did a double coffee perks. So for the loyalty scheme you have in place, they create coffee perks for each order, sharing on social media, that kind of thing. We wanted to do like a double coffee perks week. So from the 10th to the 17th, earning double points. Really, really straightforward. Explaining people, a little bit of text about what's involved. And then like, hey, you can log into your account, purchase your favorite products, earn points for every dollar spent, and during this week, get 4 points for every dollar. And then obviously, if you refer, what people get, how to redeem. Like we broke it down into a step-by-step just to remind people like, okay, it's not that hard to do. Little bit of a strap line at the bottom, don't miss out. Shop now and earn double points. And this worked really, really well. So this is like a bit of a different one that we don't see a lot, but it pushes loyalty. It gets people, that are in your loyalty scheme to spend. Like they signed up to a loyalty scheme of some sort, so they already love your brand. So why not give them something special? On a maybe like a quarterly basis or something like that. I found that to be really, really successful. And then this was like a one-time buyers, and we took it down 2 routes here. So it's like, hey, time to reorder your favorite coffee. So those who have purchased once, and we want to push getting people onto a subscription. That's the biggest customer lifetime value, play for this brand, is getting people onto a consistent subscription service. So really, really big strap line, targeting one-time buyers only, and we start with like, thanks for choosing the brand. Hope you loved it, blah, blah, blah. Don't miss out on the opportunity to continue your journey with us. And then we give 2 options. You can either subscribe and save, or you can buy individually. And this helps us understand at which point of the journey these people are. We can segment them, or we can retarget them based on which option they chose. Did they click on subscribe and save? Then we can target them again if they haven't bought, for example. We know there's an interest there. And if they just bought once, it's like, okay, maybe they're just interested in kind of the individual. Maybe we need to convince them further that the subscription is actually better because you can save, and because you can actually control how often you get it. So that's a one-time to just 2 times conversion kind of email. And then this is similar. So with this brand here, did a bit of an offer, 15% off, and then seconds 15. So get seconds, or get your second order. This is a bit of like a UK term, come back for seconds. This is a UK brand, and we kind of made it really nice. Now, we have a treat for you. As a thank you for being a valid customer, enjoy 15% on your next purchase. So we know that this is only going to go out to people who've bought before. So they've paid before, they've ordered, they get a nice offer, and it worked. I forgot the word, but like a bit of urgency. There you go, a bit of scarcity, a bit of urgency on here. Like, hey, the offer, finishes here. Couple of call to action buttons, really, really straightforward. Leading with the top, telling people exactly what they can expect. And then this was a really interesting one that we did recently, and I want to share with you. So we did a free delivery when you spend £15 or more. And we don't normally, for this brand, normally you have to spend more. So we and kind of wanted to push that average order value up as well, and just kind of get some people in who haven't bought before. So really, really straightforward one here. Are you ready to stock up on your favorites? Now's the perfect time. Enjoy free delivery. And what we like to hear is like putting in bold the kind of important things. So even if it just reads like, enjoy free delivery on all orders over $15, send me goodies as a code, fill your cart with guilt-free goodies. I don't have to read the rest. I know exactly what I'm doing. Click the button and go from there, enter the code, and jobs are good. And we found this to be really, really useful, because a lot of brands don't try free deliveries. But, for this brand, once you spend over 15, the free delivery makes sense. So, you find that sweet spot as a brand of like, okay, well, if I don't already offer free delivery, can I offer it at a certain amount and convince people to spend more? And we've tested this on different numbers, like £30, 45, 15, and this one did great. Made an extremely large amount of money for this brand, as opposed to other emails. I think about 2.5 times the amount of money was made on this email alone, purely from offering something different. So we now know that this is what people are looking for, and this is why it's important to kind of break these things down and try different things, right? So just a few examples to look at. Wanted to whistle through those just to give you a little bit of inspiration. But now, if we go down to the how. Really straightforward, doesn't need to be overthought, but unfortunately gets overthought by a lot of people. Very simply, split your audience by segment priority. So you've got your non-buyers, you've got your buyers one times, and you've got your buyers repeats. Who do you want to speak to most in that month, or do you want to speak to them equally? You as a brand will understand what that looks like. You as a marketer should understand what that looks like, or at least seek to understand what that looks like. So you could break it down like this. You could say, right, I'm going to send a weekly email to non-buyers, a weekly email to one-time buyers to get them to convert, and a weekly email to repeat buyers, and push them down more towards loyalty, more towards like sharing on social media, more towards specific rewards for actions. And then you might say, well, we've got 4 products dropping this month, so we need to do 4 of those. So immediately you've got, 9, 4, so you've got 13 emails for there. You can map these out. And once you know what that looks like, get a calendar up and just put it down. So we use Asana for our clients, and we're able to map out, on the calendar where these emails are going to go. And the good thing is, like, you could consistently target your non-buyers every Wednesday, for example. You could consistently target your one-time buyers on a Tuesday and your repeat buyers on a Thursday. It doesn't matter. You can do it however you want, but you get the idea. You can create a little bit of consistency and understanding, and you can do product drops on a Monday. for example, now you're going to target different audience that way. The thing you want to be looking at is like, when I segment and send, am I going to be sending too much to the same people? So with the product drops, for example, if you're going to send to, say, your 60-day engaged audience, when are you going to send that? And are you going to send like a non-buyer email shortly after? And you have to that's the one thing you've got to consider. And there's no real set structure that I could guide on. That's for you as a brand or the marketer to kind of figure out yourself of like, okay, are these people going to get too many emails, and are they going to make sense? So, and one thing I would say is like, no matter the size of your brand, like unless you've got an email list of like 7 people, you want to be aiming for like 10 emails a month as a minimum. Break that down into like educational emails, entertainment-based emails, product drops, things like that. I'm going to go through a few research strategies to kind of give you some ideas, but kind of look to, as a minimum, be sending 10 emails a month. We've done that for brands with lists of around about 1,000, and it works just fine. So, going to jump into 3 sources we use to kind of think of ideas and come up with ideas that make sense. I'm going to do this back to front. So the days of the year is a really fun one, because you could say, if we're planning for September, you can go over here and you can say, let's see all the events in September. And what they'll do here is they'll break down every day when there's specific events. First thing you want to do is like scroll to the very bottom real fast, and you can actually look at like, there's quite a lot in September. Look at this, loads. You can look at like specific months. Wow. Okay, there's so many. Here we are. So you could look at these, and initially you could say like, well, we sell organic products, so National Organic Month is a really good month to kind of push in for that. Or maybe you do some things relevant to self-improvement or baby safety, fun fairs, maybe not. Skyscrapers again, maybe not. But you get the idea. Urology, like if you sell products that are relevant to that, or if you care about like Alzheimer's, for example. We have vitamin supplement brands, and anything to do with health is always a good thing to push on. So I mean, some of these don't make sense, obviously, but you get the point. Like if you do cheese or have products that are cheese related, or you're like you sell Italian products, for example, and you want to talk about National Italian Cheese Month, like, hey, there's a really good opportunity. So you get the idea. Pain awareness, Guide Dog Month, Childhood Obesity Awareness Month, like all these could be relevant to what you wanted to talk about. So have a look at the month ones, and then just kind of scroll back up to the top. And then you can start to look at different days. So there's a couple of days on there. Now, if you open each one, there's more, but it gives you an idea. So some of these are like really awful days that you want to look at. Like, I don't think Pierce Your Ears Day is relevant to many, or Bison 10 Yell Day. I don't even know what that is because I'm British, but you get the idea. So National Another Look Unlimited Day, that could be really cool. National Cheese Pizza Day. You get the idea. You can scroll down, have a look, and you just look at something and think, is that relevant to what we're doing? Like World Beard Day. If you're like the beard struggle, for example, you'd want to know that it's World Beard Day on the 7th of September, and you want to make that a massive event to celebrate all bearded people. Because you're getting your customers on side, like say, hey, we love you guys, you got a beard, it's your day, let's celebrate your day with an offer. Like, it's a perfect opportunity, So you get the idea. I'm not going to labor too deep on here, but daysoftheyear.com, really good website to look at. Then this is a good one as well. So timeanddate.com/holidays. Now this is really good for like different parts of the world, because like there's so many, and most of the clients we work with are US, UK, Canada, Australia, but like you can look at different ones. So if you wanted to do, here we go. If you wanted to do the United States, you can click on that, and it will tell you everything that's coming up. Onwards, coming onwards. So September, you've got Labor Day. You've got Native American Day, National Grandparents' Day. That's cool. Patriot Day, First Responders Day. Big ones. Air Force Birthday. Like, not all these are going to be relevant, but some of them are extremely important. So you can, like, Patriot Day, Grandparents' Day, like I definitely would push that if it made sense, and Labor Day, and anything else that pops up that you think is useful, and then You can go to UK, for example, and you can start looking and say, well, what's coming up in September? We don't have a lot coming on in September. Halloween's coming up in October. Guy Fawkes Day, that's a big one in the UK. Remembrance Sunday is obviously a big one in the UK. You get the idea, and obviously Christmas, clearly is quite big in this part of the world. But you get the idea, right? So you can start to look at these things and plan for campaigns, so streams of emails or individual emails, based on this kind of stuff here. And then last one I really like. This website is great, reallygoodemails.com. So you can kind of log in and create your own sort of swipe file if you wish. But things I'd like to look at, especially for campaigns, is I can go into it, industry. I think this is the worst way to look at it. Yeah, so you go into industry. I think it's better if you could, come down here over categories, drop down to industry, click on industry, and then you can say, well, we are a healthcare brand. Cool. And then you can just click on this email here, and then you can actually scroll across for different ones. Obviously, I went a bit faster than we like. But if we go back to the beginning, and you can have a bit of a look. So you can save these, into your own healthcare. It looks like I've got a healthcare one. You can save these. You can look and say, well, what's this they're doing? And you can get some ideas. You can look across, flower power, is that relevant to what we're doing? So this one here, I don't like this one at all. It's not very nice. But you get the idea. Better together, brain friends forever. That's cool. And you start to look at different things. If it's relevant to what you're doing. Again, categories, back to industry. Let's do another one. So, health and beauty. Oh, look at this one. This is cool. So you can get an idea, and you start to look at how people are laying out their emails. That's actually quite cool. You can scroll across. I like this exotic pulp. And I love I love this here, like a 3-word full stop kind of breakdown. We use this quite a lot, and it's really good. Call to action buttons are not very nice, but you get the idea of okay, well, they're doing an email like this, and this could be really relevant to what we're doing, and you get some inspiration off of how you want the emails to look, but also just the kind of messaging and even subject lines. Again, this kind of split like this is really nice. But look, this is cool. Your 20% off expires soon. Shop now. Here's some really cool imagery, and then it breaks it into, look at this, what this does, what this does, what this does, what this does, and then a bit from here. That's beautiful. It targets so many different things. Yeah, so make use of this, and you can do this as well for different behaviors. So you can look at abandoned carts, for example. You can get some ideas of how different brands are doing their abandoned carts, like this one here. Lamborghini, that's cool. Still thinking, don't worry, we've got you. It's a nice car. It's clearly not the Lamborghini you're thinking. Perfect wines. But you can go onto it as well, and you can click on. Not sure it's going to load. You can click on the specific. So it is a Lamborghini you're thinking of, but obviously they talk about other stuff. You can see from there. So if you come back, where were we? Behavioral. I don't like it there. Every time I do that, I always get annoyed. You can start to look at different things here as well. So customer service, thank you emails for purchases. Here we go. A bag of strawberry shortcake. That looks awesome. I don't even like you, but that's really good. A bag of strawberry shortcake, black edition on us. Thanks for signing up. So that's cool. Tells you exactly what it is. Here's your exclusive code. Great. How to claim, what you're waiting for. The perfect structure. So these are really good. I would look at this for our coffee brands that we work with, and just see hey, does this make sense? What have they done here that I like? Nothing on that one. True Grit, you can look at what are these guys doing? Thanks for subscribing. Psyched to have your big pointy hand, and it kind of breaks it, and that's cool. And that I'd have had that. Where is it? I'd have this further up, it wants to be up here. That's taking up too much space. I said I wasn't going to go into kind of layout suggestions, but you get the idea. So 3 really, really good websites to look at. reallygoodemails.com, daysoftheyear.com, and then timeofday.com/holidays. And that's it. 25-ish minute video going through how to look at campaigns. This is the most enjoyable part of what we do, because we get to bring some really cool ideas to life and test and really understand what the audience want. But just look at who you want to target, break that down. Look at the kind of message you want to send based on what's going on at the moment. Then split that down using your calendar, And then if you're getting a bit stuck, look at different research strategies from there. And always look at things that you've done months previous and just see what's working at that time. If you see a specific kind of email that's working, keep doing it till it doesn't. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. Quite a long video, but absolutely essential. Any questions, drop some comments. I would really love to hear back from you guys. Peace.